Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are tackling a topic that has baffled people since the dawn of time, decoding the incredibly confusing behavior of guys and translating it into clear, undeniable signs of romantic interest. If you've ever felt like you literally need a secret decoder ring to figure out what a guy is actually thinking, well, you're in exactly the right place. So, let me ask you something. Has a guy ever confessed that he had this massive crush on you and you were just completely oblivious? Or maybe you've got this super close guy friend right now, and literally everyone around you is swearing up and down that he's into you, but you are totally convinced he just sees you as one of the guys. Or perhaps there's just someone special you've got your eye on, and he is just impossible to read. Look, if any of that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. Guys can be notoriously hard to figure out, but trust me, they always leave clues. To crack the code on this behavior, we've broken things down into 4 areas for today's explainer. First, analyzing the physical clues. Second, time and undivided attention. Third, evolutionary instincts and protectiveness. And finally, the big question, has he won your heart? All right, let's jump right into section 1, analyzing the physical clues. Okay, so our first major sign is what psychologists call mirroring. Most people unknowingly broadcast exactly how they feel through their body language. If he's into you, you're gonna notice him closing the physical distance. Like, he'll lean in a little closer when you're talking. He'll casually navigate through a crowded room just to grab the seat next to you. But the real dead giveaway here is mirroring, where his brain basically goes on autopilot and copies your gestures. If you cross your arms, he crosses his. You take a sip of your coffee, he suddenly reaches for his drink. It's actually his brain's way of trying to build a subconscious bridge of connection with you. Pretty wild, right? Building right off those physical clues, psychology also tells us to look out for self-conscious behaviors. These are the ones that stem purely from nerves. We're talking prolonged mutual eye contact, or maybe just some playful touching, like a really light tap on your arm when he laughs at a joke. You might also catch him suddenly grooing or fidgeting. Is he constantly fixing his hair, adjusting his collar, or shifting his weight around the second you walk up to him? That nervous physical energy is just his body reacting to the sheer excitement of you being nearby. Now, here's another huge clue. His smile. But, and this is a really important distinction, we have to tell the difference between a guy who is just, generally a cheerful dude, versus a guy who has a positive mood change specifically for you. If he magically perks up the second you walk into the room, or if his face just completely lights up with a greeting every single time, without fail, that specific noticeable change is exactly what you're looking for. It basically means you are the absolute catalyst for his happiness. Okay, moving right along to section 2, time and undivided attention. Look, time is literally our most valuable resource. If a guy is secretly harboring a crush on you, you are absolutely going to see an escalation in the effort he puts into spending his time with you. It usually starts small, like him trying to accidentally bump into you in the hallway, hoping it leads to a moment. That quickly turns into initiating longer conversations. Then he takes it digital, and suddenly he's texting you all the time. And finally, the ultimate step, he actually works up the courage to invite you out. That steady escalation, that's a clear roadmap of his growing feelings. And here's a fascinating little conversational rule you should really watch out for, the no other girls rule. Seriously, think back to the last few times you chatted with him. Did he mention any other girls? If the answer is no, it's highly likely because he likes you. See, he is intentionally filtering his conversation. He's super careful not to talk about other women around you, unless someone else brings it up first, because he absolutely does not want you thinking for a second that he's available to or interested in anyone else. He is purposely keeping his lane totally clear for you. So when he gets your attention, he gives you his undivided attention right back. It's almost like he turns into this friendly little detective. He's asking personal questions to get to know the real you, and he actually listens, like really listens and remembers the tiny details. But the biggest indicators? That's when his questions turn subtly romantic. If he's trying to figure out your relationship status, or casually wondering what your type is or what kind of guys you usually go for, yeah, he is directly gathering data to see if he stands a chance. Which brings us to section 3, evolutionary instincts and protectiveness. This stuff is so fascinating. Have you ever caught him subtly trying to impress you? Maybe he suddenly busts out this hidden talent, or tries to sound a bit more intellectual, flexes his muscles, or clearly put way more effort into his outfit that day. I know it sounds a bit cliche, but there is deep science behind it. Evolutionary psychology theory points to our innate drive to appear as our absolute best, most desirable selves to entice a partner. Honestly, he kinda can't help it. His biology is screaming at him to stand out from the pack so you'll actually notice him. Just to ground this in the science for a second, researchers note that we often want to appear our best, most desirable selves in order to entice possible romantic partners into pursuing a relationship with us. It's hardwired into us. So the next time you see him making that extra effort to look nicer, seem cooler, or just act smarter and funnier specifically when you are around, just remember, it's a literal biological strategy of attraction playing out right in front of you. And a huge part of those deep-rooted evolutionary instincts is protectiveness. You'll probably notice him acting significantly more protective toward you than he does with his other friends. For instance, he might be the guy who always, without fail, offers to walk you home at night to make sure you get back safely. Or let's say you're at a crowded party or an overwhelming space. You'll notice he naturally gravitates right to your side to act as a kind of buffer. If he's doing these things, it means he deeply values you, and his core instinct is just to keep you safe and comfortable. But it's not just about keeping you safe. Not only is he smiling because you're around, but he is actively putting in the work to make you smile too. This could be him constantly cracking jokes, goofing off, or playfully teasing you just to hear your laugh. Or he might take a much softer approach, showering you with genuine compliments, or just surprising you with thoughtful little gifts, like showing up out of nowhere with your favorite coffee order. He's constantly putting in the effort to get your attention and keep you in a good mood. And that leads us to our final stop, Section 4. Has he won your heart? So, as we went through this explainer today, did anyone in particular pop into your head? Maybe a guy whose confusing hot and cold behavior suddenly makes a whole lot of sense now? Take a moment to really reflect on these 8 signs. Decoding behavior is all about observation, so keep your eyes open. Watch for that mirroring, notice how often those text messages are rolling in, and pay real attention to who is consistently trying to make you smile. You might just realize that someone has been secretly liking you this whole time. Or, hey, better yet, you might realize they've already won your heart. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.